Welcome to Makers International, a podcast of makers, connecting with makers from all around the world. Here's your hosts, Jamie Page, Chris Cute, and now, Richard Morley.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good times, whatever time it is, wherever you are listening. Joined with me, as always, Mr. Chris Cute.
How you doing?
Mr. Jamie Page.
How you doing?
And this evening, basically the reason everyone's tuned in, no doubt, we're joining us live from his, it looks like an office, but there's no tellings with Nick. Nick Zammeti. Hi, Nick.
Oh.
So everyone basically wants to talk to you this evening. I know we certainly do, and we all want to know about Makers Central. So we're kind of expecting there to be a few more people than normal. But as always, I'll be back with you in just a second, Nick, because I'm going to thank those people that we sort of rely on every week to join us on the live show. So very quickly, and I won't catch everyone, but there is Jamie. What are you doing in the live chat? Way to throw me off right at the start. Anyway, so we'll ignore that. Chris can edit that out. If only we could edit Jamie out. Anyway, we have Dale from Maple Tree Studios, CDA Woodturning, David Woodbarber, Rich Bennett, the Beard 16, Peter Miller, and I'm pretty sure I saw Wayne the Woodturner in there as well. And if I've missed you, I apologise. Talk more in the chat, and I'm more likely to see your name, and then more likely to say it. So massive welcome to everyone in the live chat. As always, don't forget this evening's show is brought to you in part by Yorkshire Grit, the Woodturners Abrasive Paste, our good friend Chad at Mancrafting, Pam from Highland Boxes, and also Steve, the silent partner, Steve Harneal from Harneal Media, who takes all the credit now for the stuff that Jamie used to pretend to do with the website. If you want to know more about our sponsors, then head on over to that website, makersinternationalpodcast.com/sponsors. And there's everything in there that Jamie's been trying to say is his hard work for the last, 4 years now, is it, Jamie?
Yeah, but it isn't. Steve does it all.
But had we not basically let the cat out of the bag, you'd probably still be taking the credit for it. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Talking of extra credit, that's what we're attempting to do this week. So, Nick, you're with us this evening. Hopefully you can help us with this, because everybody wants to know about Makers Central.
Happy days.
I like the way you're so enthusiastic about it.
I know, yeah. Well, we love it. We love the show, and we obviously announced it pretty late this time round due to a few sort of personal things going on with me and other things that I had going on. But now, we got it out there, and we're on for 2020. So, we are full steam ahead.
I was kind of, I guess, cynically, I'll be honest, thinking that it was left deliberately, because when I looked at the website, it's pretty. All the stands are booking up. There's some regular names there that have committed to come in terms of the exhibitors. There's names coming out every day of kind of YouTubers and personalities that go in. So it kind of appears that this has been in the mix for a little while, and you've just kind of delayed the release. But as we were talking before the show, that's actually not what's happened.
No, we obviously knew, a few weeks before we announced it, and then we always like to get contact the sponsors first, because obviously there's so many things that bring the show together, and once we've managed to decide that we can actually do it physically and financially and everything else, then we have to contact the sponsors to see if they're happy to support the show. So we obviously contact them and get them on board before we announce the show, because otherwise we'd announce the show and then everyone said, actually, no, we're not interested. That would leave us in a bit of a predicament. So we want the support, so we have to contact, and we obviously contact a few of the makers as well, and say, look, if we do another show, would you be coming? And they're like, yeah, of course. And we've got tremendous support from so many great people. So we wanted to get a few of those names kind of already on the website, companies, sponsors and makers, so that when we come out there and go, right, it's on 2020, here we go. We've got Jimmy, we've got Bobby, we've got Peter Brown, we've got sponsors like Axminster, Triton and Dickies, and that's how we announce it. Otherwise,
because at that point you've got something to promote. But Nick, let me interrupt you, because in case there are people, the human who lives under a rock dwellers out there that don't know about this show.
Yeah. Wait, there is. There's surprisingly.
There are surprisingly, a number of people who live under that rock and are actually very happy about it. But they have arisen today to find out. Okay, sounds really cool. Where's it being held? What are the dates? And where do I go? Because I want to come. So let's basically start from, where is it going to be this year? Is it going to be in a different place or the same place? And if so, where is that?
Yeah. So, I was hoping that, because I put this on my page as well, my Facebook page today, with hoping that some of my, followers on there would come over, and check out the podcast tonight, and sort of see what the show's about. Obviously, some of them hear me waffling on about it now and again. I try and keep it to a minimum because I don't want to annoy everybody with me just talking about the show all the time. But equally it is quite an exciting thing that we've sort of created, I think, and we're all quite excited by putting on another one. So it is been held as the third year for the show. And we're hoping that it's going to be bigger and better than the last ones. There's lots of new things happening there. It is going to be back at the NEC. We have toyed with the ideas of taking it to London XL and other areas, and we have been round to see these companies, venues. But it all boils down to, at the end of it, NEC came back with a cracking deal for us. They really, really wanted to have the show there again. And they did us a deal that we couldn't really refuse. And obviously, because the show is, it's very limited on funds and things, it is quite hard to put the show on. It's a big show to put on. And they came out with a great deal. So we thought, well, let's just do it at the NEC again, really. It was it worked well last year and the year before, so it'll be there again. It's in a slightly bigger hall this time, so keep going up in size, so a slightly bigger hall, so there's a few more stands there will be, hopefully, and it's on the 2nd and 3rd of May this year, so it's about 3 months away now. Is it 3 months? Three
close to, close to. Not far off.
Yeah, and it's just, we're really excited about it. There's so many things that we've got happening this time round that we didn't have last time. There's so many things that we're doing this time.
We've got a ton of questions about that, and you can elaborate about that in a bit. But just from people who aren't in the UK, who don't know exactly where the NEC is located, that's Birmingham, in Britain, and that's well north of London. And you can fly directly into Birmingham, or you can fly into London and take a train up. But just for those people who aren't familiar with,
so as the Derek, actually, I spoke to Derek today from the States. Derek from Malden, good friend of mine over the pond, and he's just booked his flight, and he paid $450.
Wow, good deal.
That's just nuts. From Boston.
He's coming from. I hate him already. I do hate him already.
I know, yeah. And
I don't mind telling you. Well, I do mind, but I won't tell you what it cost me to fly over the one.
I know, yeah. So at the moment, if you're flying from Boston, Massachusetts, but $450. I thought, wow. So you better get that booked up. So yeah, that's pretty cheap at the moment. So I would jump on it if you're going to be booking that, because that's nothing. What's that, 300 quid?
Something like that. Wow.
Transatlantic flight, that's a fairly...
yeah, that's a big plane as well. He said it was a huge, big, chunky plane with 2 floors and everything. So
wings, engines,
everything.
Sort of,
but no phalange.
And no in-flight dinner. Sorry.
No engine.
No engine. Only one engine.
Just a load of Red Bulls.
Well, yeah. we encourage the people that are out in our chat today, and we do have a number of folks out there, and boys, girls, men, women of all ages. If you have questions, load them up. But before we get into that, Nick, we've got a number of questions, because as soon as we put this out and Jamie had shared it across social media, we started getting questions in already. So
Cool.
Buckle yourself in, my friend. We've got several coming to you.
I'm ready.
And not all of them are directed totally at you. I think there's more general questions that we can all answer. But when I have one directly at you, Nick, I'll say, Nick, here you go. But Pam Harris had one of the first kind of general questions.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam. Love you, Kim. And I guess this question is directed at all of us. She said, what are you all looking forward to the most for the show? And who do you want to meet up with that you perhaps may not have done so before? So, Richard, Jamie, Nick, if you guys want to take the bull by the horns, you can start.
I think we should let Nick answer, because I think for you, Nick, it's going to be a bit of a novelty, because you don't really get to see much of the show, do you?
No.
You get to do all the hard work, and then that's it.
Yeah, we're always busy, and I'm obviously, involved in the busyness as well. Although not as much, but the team I've got now, actually just two of us now. But they're brilliant. They're really, really great, and they will take care of the show. But we will have some more help, obviously, when we get there. We'll have a few more friends and family coming up to help, and they are all friends and family. They all just pitch in. All the people you see milling around that say Maker Central and their back staff, they don't work for Maker Central. They're just my brother or sister and his brother and his son and his daughter and my mum and my mum's dad and my nan and everyone else. So
it's a proper family business.
Our staff. Because although it is a business, because we have to have it as a business for legal reasons,
sure.
It's kind of not really a business to us, if that makes any sense. The show was put on, predominantly just because we wanted to do something cool for the community, and I just love kind of like doing things like that. So, and it's become obviously something else now. It's become like a show that people want to see every year, which we will be doing it every year now. So there's a question.
There's a question I can cross.
That might be jumping forward a bit, but the show will be every year.
That
you heard it here first.
Freaking
only here
awesome.
first. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I'm going to cross, because we had spoken earlier before we actually went live, and I was saying you get this question every year, and it's usually before, just after, and then for several months afterwards. But for you to go ahead and announce that now, Nick, I think is freaking awesome. Good for you, man.
Because so many people loved it the first time round, which obviously prompted us to do it the second time round. And then obviously after that, it was even bigger and better. And then again, the amount of emails and messages and stuff that we receive, it's kind of, we felt a bit guilty, really, that we couldn't say whether we were putting it on or not. And we got asked all the time, like, is it going to be on again? Are we going to do it again? Or we even had loads of companies contacting us going, if you do it again, we want to book a stand. We want to sponsor it. We want to do this. And we're like, we really would love to say yes. But at this moment in time, I couldn't at that point, because, I had a few other commitments at other companies and stuff, which I've now recently departed from. Hence now I'm full-time YouTuber.
Okay, well, we're gonna press on with that information only because the chat requires me to let you do so. The Shop Dog Workshop had a question that, beyond whether this will go on in the future, and which people have, I'm sure, in the past annoyed you with. At no point when you couldn't give them an answer, but perhaps not being able to give them an answer again this time. The next question is, are you open to doing the show in different locations, perhaps even just within Britain? I mean, does Birmingham and the NEC have to be the home for this every time in the future, or are you open to doing it elsewhere?
I think what we have had a thought around potentially doing like a mini Maker Central halfway through the year, potentially, in the UK. We wouldn't really take it to the States yet or overseas, because it's just such a massive thing to try to put on.
And be extremely expensive, I would assume.
It's very expensive, and we took a gamble doing it. But again, it wasn't about the money. The first year we lost money. The second year we lost money. But again, it wasn't about making money. It was, as long as we could try and fund the show with the help from the sponsors and things like that and the companies, then it was a no-brainer. But we were obviously going to lose money in the first year or two, but that's just the way it is. This year we may break even. I don't know, but as long as it keeps funding itself, I don't mind really, because again, it wasn't built for us to earn a living as such. So we already had other jobs and things which were earning us a living, and now my YouTube channel hopefully will sustain and keep growing and earn me a living that way. So that's why I'm doing that full time now. And Maker Central is obviously, it's just like a sideline type thing, but obviously equally it takes up a lot of time. So so we're very busy and active, especially at this moment in time. We're very busy and active doing it. So I've got to try, and that's why my videos have not been every week, because I just haven't had the time to do that. So I've been doing them every couple of weeks, which I didn't really want to do that. Now I'm going full time. I should be putting out more videos. But because of Maker Central, that obviously stops me because I'm doing other things for that. But that doesn't matter, I love doing it, and and when I can get videos out, I will do that as well. So, but so we may well do like a little mini thing, and it will just be like a small gathering meet for a few people. And once it's fully booked, it'll be fully booked. It'd be like tiny little place that we might hire out and do like a mini Maker Central. We're thinking about doing that somewhere in the UK, somewhere different than the NEC.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right. Maybe London or something like that. Yeah.
Let me, and if you guys will allow me, let me plow through a number of these other questions because there's quite a few, and I think we can probably make them relatively short.
Well, with me waffling, nah.
Yeah. Well, you never know. All right, let's move on to our hero of questions, Mr. Andy Pugh. And Andy, thank you once again this week for contributing. He says there are a number of new makers listed as attending this time, which is frankly awesome. But I guess he's kind of looking for an exclusive here, Nick. He wants to know, is there any particular people that you're interested in getting to commit to coming to the show? That's the essence of the question, I guess, is what at least Andy, excuse me, but I'm sorry, that's the way I took it. So I guess he's looking for you to announce that, well, I'm in talks with so and so. Is there anybody else that you're excited to getting into the show that you would like to promote or even just welcome? I mean, maybe for the first or second or maybe even third.
I could bring Dougie from McFly. He was great, actually. He was brilliant, and I love their music. So, but anyway, moving on. We've obviously got some really big players already. Jimmy, Bobby, Peter Brown is coming this year, which he couldn't make last year, and he's going to be on stage and stuff. And I love Peter, and he is.
If you can't love Peter Brown, then you just don't deserve to live.
I mean, yeah, he's amazing, and on top of that, he's such a nice, really, really nice.
Absolutely.
guy. He's just so genuine and just would do anything for anyone. So I love Peter, and he inspires me a lot. And then we got Bob from I Like to Make Stuff. And there's some really big players there. Also, Ben Ueda is coming this year as well. Unfortunately,
Tim
Ben
Sway as well, isn't he?
Yeah, sorry.
Tim Sway.
Yeah, Tim Sway. Yeah. So there's a few really big makers there, and we're always trying to tout up new, talent to come along. So we're actively emailing people all the time. We're on YouTube, we're messaging people, we're emailing them on their contacts, and if they're bigger than that, we're emailing their management and saying, check out the show, would you be up for coming along? But we haven't had any other confirmations yet. We've got the young lady Tamara from Mythbusters coming along.
Wow, that's cool. That's a big one.
Yeah, she's really great, actually, and she got in contact with us. And she's confirmed coming, and she's going to be on stage. She's going to be on with Laura Camp and Megan on the Saturday doing a Q&A. and then she's going to do her own thing on Sunday. And this girl's on TV, you know, in the States, you know, so she's been on Mythbusters for a long time, I think. And she's got some really inspirational stories, and she's going to be talking about young makers and things like that.
It's funny because towards the end of this thing, I have an Adam Savage thing from the same show that I would like to share with you. That's which just kind of makes it ironic.
I mean, we have tried to contact Adam. Unfortunately, he's very, very difficult to get hold of. But you know, now with tomorrow's help, we may have an in to chat to him about coming. But I don't know. I mean, you know, he's quite a big player, you know, and he's got.
He's a huge player. He's a huge player.
Yeah. But you know, we're always trying to find new makers to come, you know. But again, it's not all about, like I've always said, it's not all about the big makers. We want all the little makers to come, all the people that want to get into making, you know. So if you contact us and say you're coming, we'll get you on the website. It doesn't matter if you've only got 5 subscribers. It's not about that. But obviously, the headline makers are great because they obviously bring in a crowd. So yes, we still want those, but we still want all the other makers to come, you know. And it's not. We do still get emails from people saying, "Oh, you know, we're allowed to, you know, come."
And you know what? Admirably, you always promote even the people that are not household names. It's
100%. Yeah. We try and do as much as we can for them, and it's about them, you know, as well. So we put them on the website. We shout them out on Instagram, Facebook, you know, and that really encourages them as well to help, you know, bring other people along, you know. So it's great. We want everyone to come.
Okay, well, so perhaps Nick was right. We're not going to blow through these questions.
No, you are.
Happy days.
Yeah, happy days. All right. No, Nick, I love it because it's very rare to find a guest that we can have on with us that occupies all of our time. We have to do nothing.
I know, yeah. Give me a late one, guys. Give me a late one. I haven't got work in the morning.
All right, I got another one for you. And it's from Andy as well. What are the new attractions that you have compared to the last 2 events that you're excited or at least happy about talking about?
Yeah.
Because there has been different things each year, and so I'm sure there's something different this year.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And again, it's all about that as well. We're trying to get new things there so that it's not the same, you know. And, you know, and although, you know, there are obviously lots of other things there that you've seen there before because they're good and people love them. So we got Pod Pad. There again, but they're bringing different stuff, so they won't be bringing the same stuff that you would have seen before. And they've always been a really great hit with the crowd. People love them. You know, the first was the Batmobile, second was all the robots, and they got something really cool that they're bringing this time around. And like the ice sculpture guy, really nice chap, you know. But that's great. People can get involved there, and they can sculpt the ice. So we're bringing them back. But equally, there's other attractions there, new stuff. So the biggest one that I can't wait to see is our good old TV series, Robot Wars. And if you're a Robot Wars fan, then, you know, this is going to be brilliant. I mean, these guys have a huge following anyway, you know. So they have their own shows and their own little things that they set up, and people come just to see them. So not only do you come to see Maker Central, but you come to also see Robot Wars as well. We've got like Apollo, which is one of the big winning kind of like well-known robots from the TV show. And they're going to be doing shows throughout the whole weekend. You know, they're building an arena inside the hall. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that. You know, so I mean, just coming along, seeing that, to get a ticket to see them, it's like 20 quid just to see them.
Right.
You know, I mean, so it's a no-brainer. So doing a deal with these guys is, I mean, we obviously have to pay them to come. So this is, you know, this sort of like why you got to work it out. You know, can we put it on? Can we make it better this time? To make it better, we've got to bring in more attractions. So yes, we have to pay for the ice sculpture guy to come. We have to pay for Pod Pad to come. We have to pay for, you know, the Robot Wars to come and many of the other things to come because they're big companies. They come and this is what they do, you know. So, but that is quite exciting, and I'm hoping that people are going to love that. You know what I mean? Because it's all free for them. They come in the show, they can watch, and you know.
It's a little bit like organising a birthday party on a grander scale. You still have to pay for the bouncy castle and the candy floss guy.
Yeah, you got it. No one's gonna. I mean, you will get. There are some great people out there that will just come along and do things for free, you know. But you got to think to yourself, these companies, they're businesses, you know, they need to earn a living. They can't, you know, they can't just come along and do it for nothing, as much as they'd love to, you know. And the people that can do it and can afford it will. They, you know, we've had loads of offers. People say, can we just come along? And like, we've got one guy who's coming along, who's going to play music for you all for free. He's like, I just want to come and just play music. Can I do it? And we're like, yeah, how much? He's like, I'm not going to charge you. I'm like, happy days. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yes, but you know, but there are some people out there who do really cool stuff that don't enter these kind of events, and they're not trying to make it a craft show where they feel like they can sell things in order to, you know, make up. They just, you know, they have to charge because there's no other way for them to keep going. All right, I've got another question for you. I've got another question from you before I get into more of what we already have, but it comes from Richard's better half, and it's Kat Hippie Noodle. And
what's she done now?
Oh no, she has a great question, Richard. Don't go questioning her. She's I mean, when it comes to saying better half, trust me, it applies here.
It's not a big competition. Anyway.
She says, Nick, last year you really built on the first show in terms of the diversity of makers that were exhibiting there. And I would have to agree with her on that, because even though I wasn't able to make it last year, I knew the differences between the first year and the second year, and I'm really sad I wasn't able to make it, but different story. He says, is there going to be any more, well, I guess her question was, can we expect to see more of that this year?
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, every year we've taken, you know, from the show, things that weren't quite right, the feedback that we've got, you know, like the stage, you know, was one thing that didn't really work in the first year round, but obviously didn't realize the kind of crowd that we were going to pull in. So people couldn't really hear much. So we adjusted that on the second one. And although it was still not quite right, it was a loads better. There's screens everywhere and all sorts of stuff. So that also, everything, we take everything, you know, so people wanted to see more things, more small kind of like makers. So we've now got on the website a makers market, which allows the smaller maker to come along, that someone that's sat at home making jewelry or something, or knitting little teddy bear outfits or something, or making teddy bears or whatever, to come along. So we want to encourage them. So it's a small stand, it's a cheap stand, affordable stand for somebody to be involved within the Maker Central, you know, because I think we do the stands pretty cheap anyway, you know. And I've talked to loads of other companies, and they're like, we pay like normally $2,000 for a space like that, and we're charging 550 quid, you know.
On the website, actually, it's 250 quid that's being advertised for.
Yeah, the small one. Yeah. So the 550 is the normal stand for a normal company, or you can go, you know, you can get bigger ones. But the smaller makers markets, they're like 250 quid, you know. So we hoped that we would encourage lots more different types of makers to come. So we do have a lot of different makers this time. We have some different companies there. Some of them I've never even heard of before, which is great, you know. So as I say, the people are booking stands every day.
Even for individual makers, I mean, an investment of 250 quid to go into a show of that size and possibly sell their wares, make up the 250
kind of cover the cost more.
I mean, that's just, you know, nuts. Let's move on, because I really want to blow through these stuff so we have a chance to let the chat and let Nick say what he wants to say about the show. But these questions are, you know, they go to the heart about what we're talking about today. But this next one, unfortunately, Nick, I'm sorry, is not directed to you. It's directed at us. And Andy wants to know, and I think I can speak for Jamie and Richard here by myself. He wants to know if there's going to be another live show podcast after the show in the Hilton lobby this year. And Andy, I just quickly say that we've talked about it. Just hold that spot for us, if you will. That's about all I can say to that. But moving on from there, Daniel Adams says, has there been any thought to more shows throughout? Well, we already talked about that. Would there be? Well, never mind. You know what? I don't want to repeat myself. I think we're done with the questions that were out there, so we can deal with that.
You don't like you, Dan.
No, with what's out in the chat, Jamie, is there anything that you have pocketed and that you've seen that was quite?
Mum Dragon Tail's turn has just turned up, so has actually missed anything important? Yes, Emma, you have. Makers Central is going to be on every single year now.
Until you become disinterested in it, anyway. But yeah.
So yeah,
that won't happen.
That's apart from that, that's the most important part. But apart from that, you can go back to the start and watch it again because we need the views.
One thing, because I've been sort of flitting backwards and forwards from the website on the map of who's going to be there, the list of people that's going to be there, and I have to say I'm a little bit nervous now. How much? Because it's a big event. How much security have you had to hire for this? Have you had to get extra in? Because
we have to get extra security in, because it's a bigger hall and more people, so we need more security, and that's obviously hired from NEC.
Sure, because I was thinking it's probably because I was going to probably be there, and so was Sterling Davis and Jamie, and I'm a bit nervous. There might be this kind of thing.
Well, I don't think you need to worry
about funny you say that.
Security to you guys.
Funny you say that. Mr. DeResta needs some security this time because I need to get him back for tagging the back of my leg with spray paint, like from last year. So
we're lucky enough to have Jimmy and Bobby back, and Bob, back at the show. These guys have been there the third year in a row, and they loved it so much that they all want to come back. And I'm really chuffed, really, because when you've been to the show sort of like twice, it's a good chance that we'll miss this one, and and that was a fear of ours, is that people would just say, no, we've done those now, we'll come back maybe in a couple of years, which I think we still get people coming along and we still have the show, but it's just great to have them around because they're great guys, and they're so inspirational, and they spend time talking to all the people coming in, and the people just love them, don't they? So not obviously everyone else as well, like Peter, and having Ben Ueda come as well would be pretty cool, because he's going to do a speech as well on stage, in Jesse, and all the people that we've got on the list. Really, it's just great to have their support, and obviously you guys running the Makers for Makers. I mean, that was just something else last year. I mean, that was just crazy what you guys did there, and there was a lot of you involved in that. And again, this is what I was talking about. You all just club together, come over from everywhere, and just start running workshops all weekend for nothing.
It's quite, when you put it like that, it's a little bit like mad.
It is.
But
we love that. I mean,
that's kind of the extension of Makers Central. It's not just about lots of companies showing lots of cool things in a big room. It's that networking. It's that face-to-face interaction with people.
I think it has all that, doesn't it? It has all the things. Just the bit that, like, that Joe's is doing this show. Has that gone on yet? That Makers Festival?
Yeah, I think he's starting it this weekend. You're talking about the Makers TV thing?
Festival, the Makers Festival.
Oh, there you go, Makers Festival.
So it's like that. So it's like everything. Like he said, like he likes for the gathering and everyone else and gathering and stuff, which is really cool. And that's what Makers Central brings. It brings together all these different little shows, I think, into one hub. So you got your Makers Fair bits, so you got your robots and all your other bits and pieces there. You got your woodworkers bits, and you got your craft fair bits, and then you got your gathering parts of it as well, and Makers meet up and stuff. So we try to incorporate everything, and that's also what your other half as well sort of mentioned, Richard, is about trying to get more of those different diverse companies and people in, so that when you get there, it's like there's so many different things, and there's so many things for everybody.
Yeah,
the children and the families and the wives and we had so many people coming up to us actually, which was quite cool. I think that people were saying that they loved the fact that they're coming to this show, like the wives are coming to the show. Normally they get left at home, like I'm going to the show, and it's a Maker show, and they stay there. But with this show, there was things for them to do there as well, and the family, and they could bring the kids, and they love that. We got told that by so many families.
And I had exactly the same conversations with people where we were last year on our stand. Yeah, you turn to the other half and say, you know, how long have you been dragged around here for? And they're like, oh no, I've been looking at this and I've been looking at that, and I just let him go off and do his or her thing and all the other things.
It's
and
great.
Actually, it is, because that I didn't even realize half the time that there were all these other things that not only you could see, but also you could do. And it wasn't just the forging a nail out, making a pen. It was the FIMO polymer clay stuff. It was the 3D pens. It was the leather workshops and the marbling. And there was just all these people coming over. I did this and I did that and I did the other. Armfuls of stuff.
Things to do there. That's what we want. And if there's any other companies out there, you know, that are considering coming, you know, and thinking, is it a show for them? It is, you know, if it's creating, making, hobby, DIY, anything like that, you know, that you can get involved in and stuff, it'd be really cool to have you along, you know. And we try to accommodate as many, you know, different companies as we can. You know, you look at the map, there's so many different things there going on already.
I remember when you came on before the first show 2 years ago, and you were saying how you're hoping to try and get Lego involved, and
we've still trying to get Lego involved.
Well, you've got the Lego wall, haven't you, on the map? I noticed.
Yeah, it's not necessarily affiliated with Lego, but you've got that element in that show. Which
it says Lego. That's good enough for me, Chris.
That's fine. It's like Disney, right? It'd be like Disney for you.
Yeah, but we haven't succeeded. So we thought we would make our own Lego wall. You know, it's just really a place where, you know, the family or kids can go and they can make some stuff all over the wall, and it just be full up with Lego, and you can have a bit of fun there. You know, we thought that was quite a cool little entertaining piece for the kids, and not so much the kids. I mean, I like Lego, you know, so you know, you get a bit of fun there as well. So yeah, there's loads of things going on there. We've got a makers fair that's going to be announced very soon as well, where you can have, it's like a little fairground. And you can kind of win prizes and things, but that's yet to be added to the map. We're in talks with them as well, so that should be going on soon as well. There's going to be all sorts of different stuff there. You're going to get there and you're going to think, wow, this is just you won't have seen any of the thing there. It'll just be like a new show again, and that's what we want to try and keep doing, is keep making new things happen there so that it's not boring.
Well, I want to pile on to that, because before we started today, I did a little, you know, research, obviously, on what you had already on the website regarding Maker Central, and I can tell people, because a lot of the talks that happen on the stage are really worthwhile to attend. But I want to give people a gist of what you have right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but I think there's room still available to expand upon what you have now. But I'll go ahead and let people know the schedule, that as far as I know and as far as the website told me. Like on Saturday, you have Charisse Williams, you know, the Savage Sisters. She's going to be on the stage. Handmade by Alex is going to be on there having a discussion. Jimmy DeRest is going to be there. There's going to be a group chat with Laura Kampf, Megan Baker, and Tamara Robinson. Ellen from Little Bear Furniture. There's going to be a group chat with I hope I pronounce this right, Eslia and Sean Evano on Saturday.
They were a massive hit last time.
Oh my God. You know, and they deserve massive respect. Young guys doing a very cool thing. Then on Sunday, there's Bobby Duke, Peter Brown, Bob from I Like to Make Stuff, Tim Sway, Ben Ueda, and Tamara Robertson again. And I think that if I'm not
really exciting stuff there.
There's room for that even to grow, and it's just, if you're a fan, it's a great way to sit down and listen to them and get close to them and talk to them and ask them questions, because most of those people, they do a quick presentation, then they open it up to the audience to, you know, let them ask them whatever. But it's a really exciting event, whether you're looking to do something for yourself, looking to be entertained. It's just, I mean, you've got it lined up, my friend. I'm telling you, this year's going to be awesome.
I think so, yeah. And we haven't finished yet. There's still spaces to be put up there. And yeah, we've got different stuff. And like Bobby's going to be doing a little carving demo for people. He hasn't done that before, you know. And we got Peter back doing some kind of a demo as well. We're not sure what yet, but he's really excited to do something up there, you know. So there's definitely lots of new things. Sorry.
Hopefully it stays on the lathe this time.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. but yeah, we try to make it a bit more, diverse and stuff like that, so that there's other things for you to see there. So although there might be still a few the same people, but people love those people anyway. And we get them to talk about something else, or we get them to demo something else, or do a demo that they haven't done before. We got, let's say, we've got a demo done by Little Barn. Can't remember her name now. Name springs me, the one you just mentioned. And she's going to be doing carving demos as well throughout the weekend. So that's going to be pretty cool, and up on stage. So that's going to be really good. So there's loads of things happening there. There's so many things. I wouldn't be able to go through all of them, because there's lots of things to see and do, and lots of talks and demos and stuff. So it's going to be busy.
The only thing I would say is that list is absolutely phenomenal, but I just think it's missing 3 guys.
You're on there, aren't you?
No, Nick, I'm joking. I'm not sure Jamie and I would ever want to walk up on the stage.
Jamie's on there. Richard, you're on there, aren't you?
I'm not yet, because the problem I've got at the moment is if I go, which I'm 95% sure, pretty sure we're going.
You haven't confirmed. That's why you're not on there.
That's because I haven't confirmed it, and it's because this year it's not prior to a bank holiday, is it? They moved the bank holiday for May.
Yeah.
So obviously we've then got issues with the Monday because of the way we organise our accommodation. We basically take a caravan up there, so we have to pack up. You can't take caravan into the hotel car park and leave it there like we normally do with the car. So you've got to be back for the Monday. So if we when we go, it'll be Saturday. So it's all sort of a little bit jiggling, but I haven't really got a massive excuse because it's only 40 miles. It's only an hour up the road. So worst case scenario.
We want to see everyone there. Really, try and, if you can, let us know. We'll get you on the map and we'll shout you out. Put you on Instagram, Facebook. We'll get you.
The last thing the world needs to see is another picture of me.
All right. So one of the problems I got is I guess I don't really want to steal the show.
Well, there was a thought about taking you off there, really.
Not letting him in.
I was so looking forward to your main stage show solo performance about telling everybody the only thing they ever need is a scroll saw, and how awesome that is. I'm sure that would just rivet people from here to, I don't know. Anyway,
I've already been on stage once and done Jamie's page.
That's incredibly unpolite.
And got a disgusting look off Richard.
That would be incredibly unpolite of you.
I was ready to hit the fire alarm thing there, but you could do a talk with Sterling, couldn't you? The pair of you could get up and talk scroll saw, and make it the last thing in the afternoon before everyone goes to sleep.
I'm sure. Just make sure everybody in the audience buys a cup of coffee before you start. That's
Dale will be there. Maple Tree Studios.
There you go. There's 3 people talking scroll saws for
We've got new makers coming this year. Loads of new makers, loads of new stands, all sorts of new stuff. So it's quite cool.
All right. Well, you know what, Nick, if there's anything that we haven't covered so far, then I encourage you and let us go. If not, then the chat, hey, boys and girls, if you've got any questions, we've got the man here, right now. Bring it up, or just about the event in general, because, in order to fill time, I'll simply tell you my experience from being an out-of-country person who flew over. It was an incredible experience because I had, without doing too much of a backstory, I had always, as a kid, even wanted to go to Britain, just because of the history, most of it revolving around World War II, Winston Churchill, blah, blah, blah. But I've always wanted to go there. And I was able to do it the year that I went, the first year that Nick put the show on. I didn't actually get to be a tourist when I went, but just the fact that I was there, and then I went to Birmingham and saw so many people from all corners of Europe and even the world that came together and had an opportunity to, even during the show and even after the show, to have a chance to sit down and talk with them. I mean, that's an experience of a lifetime. That's not something that ordinarily happens to me. Anyway, so it was like 100% worth the effort and the expense, by the way, to go through it. And I would encourage anybody who hasn't done that, who has the means, to go to this show, because I'm telling you, it will give you a perspective that you might not have ordinarily had. And that's what I came away with. So it's a fantastic event. And Nick, I'm so glad to hear that you're going to be doing this for the foreseeable future anyway, because it's just, it's great we get together like that.
Definitely, yeah. We want to do it in every year, and something else that we've obviously added, which we added last year, which was this Maker Central members, which we're developing quite heavily at the moment, and that obviously helps us develop the show and helps us put the show on each year. We'll do anyway, but for becoming a member, we've been toying with different ideas and things like that, but we've been working quite hard on lots of companies to get this special discounts for you on tools, materials, products and things like that you wouldn't normally get. So if you're a Maker Central member, then you would get access to these special discounts that we've negotiated for you. And we're taking that further. We're in talks with bigger companies in the UK at the moment, some in the States as well, but companies like B&Q, people like that you'll be able to go along with your MC card and get a special discount. That one's a little bit in the pipe at the moment. There's no confirmed on that one, but if you look at if you look at the people that we've got so many companies on there offering discounts at the moment. Record Power and Axminster and Dickies and Easywood Tools are just about to jump in on it as well. And these discounts, you can't get them anywhere else. So so there's other exclusive stuff for becoming a member. You get into the show early as well, so you will have access to the show over and above anyone else standing in the queue. You come in at 9:30. You can also use your discount code on all the stands that we've negotiated for you at the show as well. There's so many different perks. You're going to get a card in the post as well, nice little card, which is going to have your member number on it and everything. Black card, really swish, really nice. So kind of like a club, you know what I mean? Like being a member of the Jag Club or Star Wars Club, something like that. Yeah, it's a couple of quid, but at the end of the day, we're going to try and add massive value to it so that it's worthwhile, having it. And we've actually done quite well. We've actually got quite a lot of members at the moment already. So those people will have a members queue, and you'll be coming straight in at 9:30. Happy day. So you get to meet the makers in there before everyone rushes in there, and you get to look around the stalls early as well. So we're adding perks every time, but it's mainly going to be quite largely heavily developed on the discounts that you're going to get. And pretty much every week we're adding 2 or 3 new companies to that, and we're going to have quite a lot. And if you're a member, then you get the discount off of like a tool set or whatever it is that they're offering at that point in time. So that's quite exciting for us. And I think quite exciting for the community as well, because I think that we're developing something there that could potentially be quite big, in the future if we keep on adding companies, and companies will just want to come in because they advertise in there for free, because they're offering discounts. So,
please, I mean, it's as a former member of that type of business, I understand them. They're quite happy to do that. I did miss a question from Peter, and he was asking, because of the giveaway you plan on doing, can people contribute to the giveaway?
That's another thing. Yeah, so we haven't. That's something that we need to concentrate on over the next couple of months is giveaways on the prize draw. So the prize draw money this year goes to the Birmingham. What is it? Birmingham, not sure. It's at Children's Hospital, I think. Awesome. So anyone that's got anything that we can add to the prize draw, that will get added on there, and obviously we'll put your links on to your site or whatever. But if you're a company and you want to donate a screwdriver or a sander or whatever, or if you're a maker, and if you've made something like a bowl, or if whatever it is, then we'd be more than happy to hear from you. Email us on the website email and let us know what you're donating. And then if you bring that, you have to bring it to the show though, so it can't be anything too massive, because the idea is that people grab it when they're at the show, they take it home with them. So something that's reasonably sized. We got a ukulele on there, I think, at the moment. Jacko's offered a maker knife, which is pretty cool. You can't get one of those very easily, and he's offered up a maker's knife for the giveaway. There's a few things on there. We've got some stuff we haven't added yet, but if you want to add something to the prize draw, we'll be really grateful
There's a laser engraver on there at the moment.
There is, yeah. That's like about 1,800 quid.
Yeah.
Thing, and then they're giving that away. I'm like, what? You want to give that away to the draw? And they're like, yeah. Right.
And tell Duress to quit being such a cheap ass and offer a freaking ice pick.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Anything, do you know what I mean? Anything.
I love Jimmy. It's just, he
I'll get
deserves
him to bring some ice picks, although he probably might not get those through customs. Yeah, I'm bringing them to Maker Central, honest.
really am.
But yeah, no, we've still got to phone around and try and. I'm yet to get a video up. I'm trying to get a video up on Maker Central YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to the Maker Central YouTube channel, please go over there and hit subscribe, because we're going to be developing that more and putting more content on there as well, just to keep you updated and stuff on the show, things happening. And we've also got some interviews that we did last year that we're going to be putting on there. So, and all the new interviews that we do will go on to the new members. If you're a member, you get access to those early of MC. So there's so many things. I've got a real big one as well that I'm really desperate. What I really want to tell you about is so excited. I'm so excited about it. I really am. But I don't know whether you know or not.
Hang on.
Everyone wants to know, Nick. So you might as well just get. Now you've told us half the story. You might as well.
No. See, even though I know that would be good for us, I know the value of leaving people wanting.
Yeah. It is exciting.
It means we can have a follow-up podcast.
Yeah, I'm starting Makers International too.
well, Nick, beyond the show, and because this is, it's about the show, because the show is absolutely cool. But a lot of the importance that people put on this is the event itself, where they get it becomes a maker meetup thing for a lot of people too.
Yeah, definitely.
So
come and meet the people and hang out with the people, have a drink with their, people that they.
So if you could give people a general idea of what goes on for that kind of type of thing, maybe before, but most likely it's after the show. What kind of things are available for people to kind of intermingle and get to know people? I mean, and I know only because you've done this for the past 2 years, you know because I know there are restaurants. I know that Vetric has put on. Yeah. Vetric has put on some events, and then there's obviously a lot of the after party stuff that happens in the Hilton. But I mean, if you know of others, then please share them.
Yeah, I mean, generally we all try to book the Hilton. That's kind of just become the place to book your hotel room, although they're getting booked up.
It's because of the size of the bar. Let's be honest with you.
The bar area and all it's huge, and then everyone seems to gather around there in the evening. So you got the Friday evening, Saturday evening, and sometimes Sunday, but mainly Friday and Saturday. And it's just a great place. You can eat there, you can have a drink there, and you can chat to everyone there. And if you haven't got yourself a hotel room there, I would definitely advise trying to book one up. You don't have to pay now; you just reserve it. But what we've found is if you go to booking.com, that you get a cheaper rate through booking.com rather than going through the Hilton. But it doesn't matter if you haven't got a space there. There's tons of hotels around the area, and you just book there, and then you can just come and meet everyone at the Hilton. So you got that to hang around with there. Vetric will be, I think, putting on another little shindig for everyone, for certain people, and they come in, and you can all just come in and have a few drinks with the makers. But generally there's always meetups. There's a YouTube area in the actual hall for the weekend. So generally, if you're looking for a maker or an idol YouTuber or Instagrammer or someone that you want to come and you've come to meet, generally they're going to be around the sort of YouTube area. Not all the time, but we've created that little area so that people can hang out there. That's the idea.
Well, I mean, even the first year you did it, that worked really well, because I met a lot of people that walked into that.
Yeah, people like, looking around, where's Bobby, where's Jimmy, where's Colin first?
You know what I thought was cool? And I don't know if you did it last year, because obviously I wasn't there, but the first year you did it, you had a bunch of, I don't know if there were plexiglass plates or something that allowed people to put their stickers on them. Yeah. And then at the end of the show, you raffled them off for the charity. And
we've still got those, actually. We've still got a few of those left over. So I think the first year we had like 16 of the things.
Yeah.
And we ended up taking a few of them home. And then the next year we had 8. So, but we've still got a couple of those. So what we'd probably do is we'd probably raffle those off as well. And then we'll raffle the ones off this year as well, as you know. So we're just, they're there to put stickers on and for you to, sort of win or in a raffle or take back home.
I just thought it was an awesome idea because everybody who's there who has a YouTube channel wants to get their sticker on something. And the fact that they got sold off and went to charity is even though that's a win-win-win.
Yeah, so we'll have those again, and so we've got 2 stages again. So we've got talks generally on the smaller stage and then demos on the other stage. All sorts of stuff going on. Kids playground area for the children, so bring your little kids along, and they've got a proper company that actually look after children that will be able to take your kid and look after them throughout the weekend if you want. They're all fully qualified.
That's friggin' awesome.
Will they take Jamie?
Maybe not.
That's friggin' awesome. And before we end this, Nick, one more time, let people know where they can go to buy tickets, where the event's going to be held, and let's wrap this up because at some point in time tonight, and I do apologize, we have to let Jamie sing. So how about we get the good stuff in before that happens?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Go ahead, my friend.
Early bird tickets are on sale now, so we'd encourage people to grab a ticket if you can. We got to the stage last year where we actually sold too many tickets and we had to open up the hall bigger in order to let people in. We don't have that opportunity really this year, so if the tickets do get to that point of selling, we'd have to start turning people away. And that's what they said to us at the NEC last year. They said, if you sell any more tickets, you're going to have to make them wait, and we'll have to wait for someone to come out before they come in. And we said, we can't do that. We just cannot do that to anyone. So we had to buy more space in the hall so that they could give us more room in order for that not to happen. So it's worth grabbing a ticket, if you can. They're on sale now, makercentral.co.uk. And on there you can see everything going on. You can see what's happening, who's coming, what stands are going to be there. All sorts of information on there. Highlights from last year and the year before if you want to check them out if you haven't seen it before. But yeah, grab a ticket. We'd love to see you at the show, and there'll be so many people there. So many things to do all weekend. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, you got to come.
Awesome. I agree with you. All right, Jamie. I guess we we have to. You know what? And everybody loves your segment, but listening to you sing is just. I have to overdub that every week, and it's excruciating. But go ahead.
You got to look for it as well, ain't you?
Jamie's page.
There we go.
Right. So first of all, I just had a message from Dave the Wood Barber, which is Dave North on Facebook. For reasons, he's unable to go to Maker Central this year, but he has already bought his ticket. But like I said, because of reasons, he's given his ticket away. It's a single adult weekend ticket, so if anyone's interested, just shoot him a message on Facebook or on his Instagram at David Wood Barber, and talk about that, and I'm sure you can arrange something. So that's that part out of the way. The second part is obviously if you're going to Maker Central, you're going to want to do a sticker exchange. So over on the podcast website, you can get £20 off at checkout on your stickers. So you go to Maker Central, not Maker Central. No, I see. Even I'm doing it now. You go to Makersinternational podcast.co.uk.com. Good God, what is going on?
So as if Chris didn't have enough work editing.
Right. So you get £20 off checkout on your stickers. You go to the podcast website at makersinternationalpodcast.com, not .co.uk, like Maker Central.
Jamie, don't confuse it for friggin'.
Right. And then on the home page, you scroll down to our logo, click that logo, it will redirect you to the sticker website. You fill out all your details, upload your picture, get your stickers, and then at the checkout, it will automatically apply your £20 off discount. And yeah, you've you've got your stickers for Maker Central. Okay. So that's all that for Jamie's page.
Oh my God, that's twice. Nick,
Right.
my man, thank you for putting up with us, and I think everybody's excited about this year's event. So, good luck to you, and thanks for coming on with us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. It makes a big difference. You know, any help shouting out the show and mentioning the show is a huge help from anyone. So I just want to say thanks for letting me come back on. It's really cool.
Awesome.
Anytime, Nick. Anytime at all.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have, other than the show, and potentially your own channel, the show's channel, Charlie's channel?
Yeah.
Anyone else you might want to shout out very quickly?
Anyone else I want to shout out? Oh, I don't know what. So, someone else I've been watching or something like that, or
Anything at all, mate.
anything at all. I'm going to be vlogging my cars soon on my other channel.
You have another channel? Okay.
Oh, yeah, the vlogging channel. It's like my holidays and stuff like that. So
Oh,
I don't normally have a time.
Well, that's all right. We can go without the shout outs this week, I think, Richard. Let's just wrap this up.
Fair enough. Well, as Chris has already said, Nick, thanks for coming on. Thanks to everyone listening. If you are still listening, of course. If you're not, then also what we like about you. Next week, I don't know what we're talking about, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know what's going on tomorrow, to be perfectly honest. So until next week, when you find out what will go on, you will have a great week.
Have a great week, everyone.
see you later, everybody.